one of the big pillars of the business is consumer products. And that's how they began back in 1870 as traders coming in from Gujarat, from Mandvi into this part of the world, and then going further down to Africa, to Zanzibar. So our interest has always been around consumer, around food, and that's one of our big businesses even today. So we operate as part of Consumer Products Group. We operate in three different verticals: the distribution part of it, the retail part of it, and then the services. And the distribution part of it is we associate with some of the world's best. And, it starts with the likes of Philip Morris, Procter & Gamble, Kellogg's, Red Bull, Bell, and Bergstoff, for example. But we associate also with all the big names back in India, like Tata Consumer, for example, Marico Industries, Amul, Priya, and and the list goes on. The idea is to bring the very best from the world to our consumers in Oman, and that has been always our endeavor. And we would like to serve our consumers with the very best of everything that we can procure for them from the world. The trade relations between Oman and India go back a long way. And we are happy to basically help that and be a catalyst to further invigorate the same. There is a lot of Indian diaspora who is also here, also from the subcontinent, who have similar tastes. And there is a lot of demand for Indian products. And more recently, we have seen that the quality and the value of the Indian products has grown. So there is a lot of appreciation for Indian products, and there is further room for us to grow that space. And if you look at where we fall short, we are doing exceptionally well on the raw commodity kind of products, but processed food is still an opportunity for us, and we do not have big names in the processed food like the Nestle's and the Kellogg's of the world. And we need something like that going forward that can then, propel Indian space within the food industry. I think, when we are focused more on our values, we deliver the best. When we are focused more on profitability, we think very short term, and the cycle is very short. So I would urge everybody to focus on their key values. Like, for example, we believe in building trust. We believe in building commitment with our shoppers, consumers, vendors, partners. And those are some of the more important things that have helped us during the course of the 150 years that I've just spoken about. So it takes a long time for us to build trust. It is very easy to break it. And if we are able to build that kind of trust, that kind of reputation with the good products that we have, with the consistency in quality, I think there is a lot that can be achieved from India into the world. Governments around the world are looking at food security, self-sufficiency within food. So dairy going forward will actually be a much more restricted category for growth and exports. However, as I said, processed dairy, like processed cheese or raw cheese and stuff like that, will always have enough market. So we need to move from the basic dairy to processed dairy that has some additional shelf life. It's a trend right now, and I think it is fast catching up, but it's still a very small and insignificant part of the entire consumer palette. So if you will, there is less than 10% of the population which is bought into the idea of vegan. I think it's good for all the reasons, but habits take a long time to get formed. And we are in that cycle where habits are getting established. So we can run ahead of the race, but if we look at it very closely, there is an opportunity there, but the bigger market still is in all the other stuff that everybody else is doing. Is men and women now getting equal opportunity at work? So we have in Oman a large number of women working, and that is very encouraging for the economy, for the household. When lives get busy and convenience becomes a predominant factor, all of these kind of products that you just mentioned, including frozen chapati, parathas, etc., actually find a lot of space in the household, and that is what we are also seeing. So with busy lives, it will continue to be a growing category. Impulse buying actually has a few interesting contributors to it, few factors to impulse buying. You don't buy so much of an impulse in a small mini market, but you buy a lot of impulse in a hypermarket, anything which is more than 12,000 square meters. And the number of SKUs in a hypermarket, which is close to 70, 80,000 SKUs, versus a mini market where you have about 5,000-6,000 SKUs. So the opportunity for impulse buying, to create impulse buying in a hypermarket is much higher than that in a mini market, number one. Number two, it also depends on the discretionary spend that the consumer has. So when a consumer actually a shopper goes to a hypermarket, he or she is actually trying to buy everything for a period of time. Maybe that's for a fortnight or a month. And the basket, the shopper psychology is very different. I mean, they want to actually look at value and buy whatever is of value. And in the end, I mean, when they look at their list and what they end up buying is much, much more than the list. So impulse buying is also an important economic factor. I mean, how much can you actually spend beyond your list? And we see that is also growing, especially in the hyper supermarkets. I think Oman has taken some clear measures on sustainability, and including the ban on single-use plastics. The plastic has to be of a certain grade to be used in the country. As far as possible, move to paper bags and stuff. And so all of those things are actually helping. I mean, just in terms of not leaving too much trash with the products. There are some companies that we distribute, like for Nivea, who have committed themselves to biodegradable packaging within the next decade. And so these are all initiatives that our principals are driving, and we are helping them drive those initiatives in our country. We have basmati rice and a huge segment under the banner of non-basmati rice. That can be poni rice, sela rice, sona masuri. And we know that, as the population in the country also grows, the consumption of rice grows. The South Indian population does not consume so much of basmati rice. It's very occasional. They eat a lot of other kinds of rice, and we have seen that trend growing year on year. Like sona masuri, for example, poni rice. These kinds of rice are actually growing year on year, and there is a lot of demand and market for this. I was very happy and pleased when I attended the last one in Delhi, And I thought that we have so much to offer to the world as India, and the quality of our products, the variety of our products is quite spectacular. It is about educating the world consumer, the world buyers, about what we can bring to their doorstep. And if we stick to our values of building trust, keeping commitments for a long period of time, I mean, the sky's the limit for the Indian trade. My message to all the exhibitors is to build a long-term relationship, build trust, build integrity with their offering, competitive with the pricing. And, the world is ready for us. Serves a huge name in terms of, being reliable as a partner. And, I think the future is very bright for all of us who are operating out of India.